Hi guys, it is Michael. I'm going to show you guys something fun in Illustrator. We're continuing with Illustrator, um, and I love to just play around with these kind of mandala shapes that are very easily made in Illustrator if you know a couple of tricks. So I'm going to show you how to do this right now. So I'm going to zoom out, just flower minus, right? Command minus, and then Command plus to zoom back in. So we're going to start. We're going to start from the very basics. So here's how you do this. So you can follow along with me if you like. I'm just going to make a line segment, and I'm going to hold the. Excuse me. I'm going to start the line and then hold the Shift key down because I want a straight line. All right. So just a basic line. I'm going to turn these guys off, actually. Go ahead and lock these up so that we don't mess with these. We're starting with fresh with this new line right here. You can see over in the layers palette. Okay, so we have this new line, and I to get this kind of textured look, I want to apply a brush stroke to it. So I've got my line selected, and I want to apply brushstroke to this. So I'm going to go to Window and go to Brushes. Oop, let's turn it on. There it is. And then under Brushes, this little flyout menu will let you open up new brush palettes. So if you go to the little flyout menu under Brushes, open Brush Library, and we're going to go to Artistic Chalk Charcoal Pencil. So these brushes then pop up, and when you click on these, they show up in your palette. And in fact, when you click on them, they get applied to the strokes you make. So, or any line you've got selected. If I just click on this, you can kind of preview what the stroke is going to look like. So let's go for something like this. It's got a little bit of a textured edge, which is kind of a nice look. Now, mind you, I can apply anything I want to this. I can apply, I can make it a basic line. It doesn't have to be a textured thing. I'm just playing around with this today. So, in fact, to that front, let's do something like this. It's got a little bit more of a basic look to it. But even this has like opportunity for change here. So under this variable width profile, I'm going to select this width profile too and let it kind of go in and out, and you can see it's kind of matching what's happening over here. So the stroke starts out small and then goes skinny in the middle and then goes big in the other end. So this is all happening because I've got this line selected, and I'm just playing around with applying brush strokes to it and applying these width profiles. So you can see there's a bunch of different width profiles here. I just happen to like this one because it's the most interesting to me. All right, so there's your line, and you know that you can apply this to any shape, right? You can apply this this profile and this brush to any shape you make. So you can go to town with your lines. Right? So we discussed that in class yesterday, or last class. But right now we want to make this mandala. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, you do this with the help of this rotate tool. Okay, so I'm going to click on the rotate tool, and you can see when you do, if you have your shape selected, this little, I'm going to zoom in so we can really see it. This little crosshair shows up to show you, and if you rotate at this point, it's just going to rotate from the crosshair, so it's going to rotate from the middle, right? We want to rotate from this bottom edge. So I'm going to click once to reposition the crosshairs here on the very bottom, and this is hard to see, so I'm going to zoom in even more and show you. You can see that barely see these little kind of light blue crosshairs, okay? I'm going to hold the Option key down, and you can see when I do, you get two little arrows, and then I'm going to click again. And then I get a crosshairs with a little dot, dot, dot. Just go ahead and click again. Now, this will rotate from this point. You can see I've already started rotating, And if you've got the preview clicked on, you can see what the rotation is going to look like. Because there are 180 degrees in a full rotation, I've chosen 18 degrees as my angle. And I got preview clicked on, and I'm going to click on copy. Okay, so you can see what happens. So here's my original line, and here's this new line that has showed up by using this rotate tool. And it's a little tricky. You might have to try it a couple times to get this to work, but just hang in there. Now, here's another little trick in Illustrator. If you hit Command D, flower D, it will redo the last action that you told Illustrator to do. So I'm just hitting flower D over and over again, and it is rotating this shape 18 degrees every time I hit Command D. And so now I've got this kind of nice red flower shape that I can build my mandala with. Okay, so this is the base of the mandala, and we're going to build on this. Now we can even keep on going from here. We're not stuck with this shape necessarily. We can select all by using the black arrow and just clicking and dragging, right? So select all these, and then we can select, different width profiles, right? We can go more basic. We can go like something like that, right? It's infinitely modifiable because this is Illustrator and not Photoshop. So you can click on different brushes, right? You get the point. So let's go back to this guy here, and let's go back to that width profile. Okay, so let's go look at the layers now. So under the layers, you can see, I'm going to drag these over here so we can see easily. Let's break this guy out so we can just look at the layers. That we've got all these lines. Where did you go? Layers? There you are. If they ever get lost, they're easily found again. We've got all these lines, and it's going to get, because when the mandala gets more complicated, this is going to get really hard to work with. So what I'm going to do is click on this first line, and then hit the Shift key and click on the last line in the layers, and I'm going to make a group out of this layer. So this little flyout menu, again, there's the flyout menu, and I'm going to say, oh, I'm sorry, I take it back. I want to group this, right? I want to make a group out of these layers. So the easiest way to do that is to either you can go to Object and just go to Group like this, or you can see that the key command is Command G to group things. Easy to remember, right? Group G, Command G. I had all those lines selected, and now they're sitting in one group. Of course, you can always click the triangle open to see all of the lines you've got in that group. Now, so this is the quick and easy way of making this mandala happen. So all I got to do now, I can even click away. All I got to do now is click and drag this group to the layer button to copy it, right? So here's a copy of the group sitting on top of the original group. And then you can see there's a stroke color selected. Just change the color. So I'm going to go to an orange. And because I've got this selected, I can shrink it down slightly and rotate it. Like so. And we can go back and modify this later if we're not happy with it, but just do this again and again. So shrink it down slightly and rotate it. Right? Click on the group and just repeat this. Change the color, shrink it down slightly. And when I shrink it down, I've actually got the Shift key and the Option key held down so that it's shrinking down proportionally. And then you can rotate it. So as I'm working, I'm looking and seeing how this can be better. So just like that, you can just, I'm just gonna, you know, you can keep going, make this group a lighter color, right? Shrink it down with the Shift and Option key held down at the same time. Rotate it. If you lose your selection, just click on the little dot next to your group, and it'll select that whole group again. Rotate it. Just keep going. Make a copy of the group. Change the color of the group. Shrink the group down. Make a copy of the group. Oop. Oop. There we go. Make a copy of the group. Come on, you. Change the color of the group. And shrink it down. So you get the point. One more time. Make a copy of the group. Change the color. Let's go for this green right here. Oh, it's more blue. Shrink it down, rotate it. Okay, it's not letting me rotate today. Shrink it down a little bit. So like that, there's your mandala, just in bits and pieces. You keep going, and you'll have something that looks like this, right? So you can see with this one, I wasn't real happy with the background seemed a little thin, kind of like with this one. So you can still go in. Let's say we went more of like a heavy base for this. It's looking a little thin on the edges, so I'm going to select this red group just by clicking on the circle next to it, and then I'm going to increase the stroke. That's better. So I increase the stroke size of each of those petals, and now it's got a nicer base. So let's go up to 3 points with that. Let's go up to 2 points with this. Much better. Maybe 2 points with that. See what I mean? So just you can mess with this to your heart's content to make yourself mandalas. There you go. That's the story. I'll see you in class tomorrow. Bye.